Good afternoon. So today I'm going to be making a pair of shorts. So I really like these they're not PJ shorts, but they're basically PJ shorts that I have, which look like this. I got them from Zara maybe like a year ago. But the one thing I'm not a huge fan of these is the fact that they're a little short, or like a little too short, where it does really feel just like PJ shorts. So my idea was to use this as a baseline with this new fabric that I have, which is right here. So I did the test to see if it's like see-through, because again, another thing that I'm not a huge fan about these shorts is that it is a little see-through. Not like super see-through, but like enough where I'm like, yeah, these are more PJ pants-ish. So my plan, as I always go through it, is the fact that I'm going to just, I've seen a lot of videos where they put it kind of like halfway, and then that's what allows, this part to be here with the seams. So I'm basically just gonna follow this pattern. This is the first time I'm actually following a pattern, because for the shirt that I did, there was no pattern. For the little zipper thingy that I did, or bag thingy I did, there was no pattern. But this one I have a pattern. So it's very exciting. It's very different. But I'm gonna use this, and let's just see how it goes. We'll figure out, any issues we might have on the way. I did get, I want to say a yard. It might be more. I don't remember. But this is what I purchased, and I feel like I got too much. But we'll, see what ends up happening. My idea is just to basically cut it the way that I'm seeing. I feel another reason why this is going to be easier is because I have lines to kind of show me, so I don't technically need a measuring tape. I can just, again, we'll fast forward this in a second, but the idea is to cut it bigger than what it actually is, and I think it's supposed to be like as straight as possible. So again, I'll make it look better. But if this were to be the straightness of it, I would technically be cutting this, because I like this part. So like this, I'm gonna do a little bit more just so I have allowance and like space. This is also good, and then this is where I'm gonna be cutting more, just because again, this feels like a little too short for me, and I have to try them on again because I haven't worn them in a minute. But because these are a different kind of fabric, they do rumple up in the back. So ideally, they would be longer than this. So I would just do whatever the longest length is, and since I will be folding it and doing all these little thingies here, probably cut here. But I'm gonna double check my measurements and we'll regroup.
Do as I say, not as I do, because I gave myself a lot of space and I cut it incorrectly. So you'll see how I ended up making booty shorts. So if you want to make booty shorts, follow this pattern. If not, do a little differently.
Now that I do have everything kind of cut, I obviously gave myself a lot of extra space, just because again, this is the first time I'm making shorts, and I want to make sure that the size I'm doing it actually fits me well, and not like, as I don't want to say these are small on me, but they do rise up. So I did give myself some extra allowance on both ends, and as you can see here, this is like really holding off at the edge, but when you put it like inwards, there is space. I don't know if you can see that. So right now my plan is I'm going to open them and then kind of just pin it where I think the shorts would go with their like corresponding side, and then from there, I did notice that these have pockets. I don't know if I'm gonna add pockets, just because again, that's also something new that I haven't done before. So I'm not, honestly, like, I don't know if I feel comfortable enough making pockets. I'll have to like actually take a look at it and see if I want to. But main thing today, at least, because this might have to be in a couple day projects, because it is getting kind of late, I think I'm just gonna like pin it where I think it's gonna go, and then with, I guess there wasn't that much extra fabric, this is kind of it. I did want to see how it was gonna look and how it would work in the sense of doing some like fringes or doing I saw a different thing to make the bottoms, because I think I do have an option on my machine to kind of do a little bit of like a swoop rather than just a zigzag. So I was looking into that as well, but that's where we're at right now. I know it's a little messy, but again, I'm learning. This is again my first pair of shorts. So we'll see how it goes, but cutting has been finished, and I think it was helpful to have lines that kind of show me exactly where I need to put it. But yeah, let's montage. I wanted to do a quick little update because I ended up sewing everything, but as you can see right now I have a skirt. I don't really have shorts. So my idea is, because I did cut it a little bit more here, so I'm just gonna 4 fingers. That's kind of like double here and double here. So I'm gonna cut like this much. So then that way I can connect this here and in the back do the same thing, because it is kind of where I want it to be. And I obviously, like I said that I was gonna have at the beginning, a lot of space. So that's kind of like the plan I'm thinking. And I am gonna use my mannequin to actually do the cuts and whatnot, but I just wanted to give a preface on where we're at. So like everything's cut. Like I said, this is longer just because I did want to cover my butt a little bit more. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and we'll see how it connects together. So the way I'm about to do this might be a little strange, but basically, as I think I recorded, I don't remember, or maybe I didn't. I cut off the excess stuff from here. I have this part. I did connect it. It looks a little strange, like it works, but I do need to cut it better to fit my body. I just feel like it'll be better if I put this on it first, so I know exactly how much space I have in between where it's gonna land on my hips and around my legs. So I've seen people do this so many different ways, but this is how I'm gonna go about it. I'm gonna use one that's already been made, and I'm not actually gonna connect it. I'm just gonna like leave it loosely on top. So my idea is just to fold it like this and fold it inwards, and then yeah, I don't know if I can really show it, but basically have it folded like so. That way it'll have some space in between, and I'm going to switch it to the twin stitch, the one in the middle. I'm going to change the needle and I'll show that. That way it can have that space in between and still work. So we'll see how that goes, but that's the idea. And I did try them on, kind of like tucking all of this on the sides of the shorts, and it did work. So again, might not be the best way to go about it, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. So we'll see how that goes, but maybe I'll do the twin stitch first in the middle and then the ones on the sides. That's probably what I'm gonna do, but you'll see. So let's get started.
I was changing the needle and everything looked good. I obviously added the extra stuff, but look what happened.
Well, my needle just broke. I don't know if you can see that. So I like the way it works. I don't know if you can see it. It looks pretty good. I did the white and black, or white and blue. So it works well, and I like the way that it worked out, but at the end, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I did hear it go, and then I stopped it, and then I saw that, the needle broke. So I'm gonna have to go purchase a new one. This was the last one that they had in store, so I'm gonna have to take a look and see if I'm able to like exchange it. This is the first time I'm like actually using it, so it's kind of annoying that it did break, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna take a break today, I guess, from working on my shorts, and tomorrow I'll see if I'm able to either get a new one or see if they can exchange it. But I definitely like the 2-in-1 situation compared to me trying to like fold it and do the lines. I think it does look better, and it gives it an extra something to it. So we'll see how that works, but I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, that's the update. So there it is, just broken. Bye. Obviously, still learning, but the shorts are done. They really do look like boxers, if I'm being completely honest. But here's what I've learned. I did use the elastic that was already pre-circled together, and honestly, I feel like that helped me out a lot for this first go around, just because it was already set to like fit my waist and it worked well. I did want to have the little like ruffles, if you will. So the reason why that was able to happen was because I only did like 1, 2, 3, 4. So everywhere that I had a seam, I think that's what it's called. That's where I connected and made sure that the elastic was stitched together. And then with all the space in between, that's where like all of these things came to be. Now for the bottom part, I did want these to be more like longer than the ones that I had before, but I did steer away from like the actual pattern, aka the shorts that I had beforehand. But honestly, it didn't come out bad. I will say they are pretty short, so I am gonna be wearing them with like, I'll show what it looks like, but I'm wearing shorts right now, and they're definitely like at home PJ shorts, not like to go out PJ shorts. But honestly, like, it's not bad. I finished it all, trimmed everything that needs to be trimmed, and I honestly cannot complain. Like, I think for what it is, aka me just going at it and trying, it works and it's stretchy. And yeah, the shorts felt a little short for me to wear them, so this is the mannequin that I've been using, and you can see how the shorts kind of fit here. Like I said, they are a little strange to say the least for the front part, but it works. And then for the back, I'll just switch her over. They're like, well, I guess I should have just done something like this. That's the back. Since it does have the elastic, it does, help out a bit. But honestly, this style, like a 2-in-1 situation, not bad. So yeah, this is my full one outfit that I made myself, which is kind of crazy to think of. But yeah, let's see what else I end up making. Bye. Now that I finished my first pair of shorts, I'm going to make minis with the same material, like just the exact same thing, so that they're matching. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do the exact same way, but these are the little kid shorts. I think this is a 6-month size. So I'm going to try to follow this as best as I can and use like what I have for it, because again, I've never worked on this kind of thing before. So let's try to make some little kid shorts.
Definitely learning from the first time I made the booty shorts, I guess is the best way to say it. I did give myself some extra space when cutting, but in addition to that, I did make the bottom a little bit longer just to make sure that when I do sew it, I sewed it on the sides first, front to back, and then when I sewed the middle section, I did front to back kind of situation, and then the legs were separate, so that way when you open it, it has a side each, so you'll be seeing that shortly.
I finished up the little shorts. They're so tiny, but I will say I figured out why the shorts I made for myself didn't have that much space compared to obviously these. It's because I sewed it together. So this one, as you can see, has some space in between, and I can't give a what it's gonna look like because I don't have a baby to put it on. But when I do, this will be a cute little thing to know that I did for it. Maybe I'll put a picture of it with a bunny or something. I have like some stuffies. But these are the shorts. They're so cute. They do have like a waistband situation, but they didn't ruffle as much as I would have liked. And I think it's because I might have made it a little too loose already, but it does have like stretchy space. I want to say baby should fit in here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But But yeah, here are the cute little shorts.